upstairs now, and you were having the party to end all parties. What do you serve your guests? You serve them lobster spaghetti.
Yes, you do.
That is
you gotta really like them, people.
kick off the new year.
Well, yeah.
You gotta really like them.
You have to like them.
You don't invite your friends over or your enemies over for New Year's. Come on. It is big money.
People you really like.
So, yeah, you know what? The whole lobster spaghetti thing, I recently went to this restaurant, and that was their thing.
Yes.
And it was apparently you had to have it, and I was like, really? I don't know. It's lobster spaghetti. And then all of a sudden, we were like, oh, we'll fit it in the middle course. And I had one bite of this thing, and I was like,
so good.
It's lobster spaghetti. Like, they just took my expectations and brought them here.
Nice.
And the reason for it is basically what they did is they made a bisque.
Yeah, okay.
As a base instead of like a tomato sauce. So the amount of flavor they extracted of the lobsters, that's where it really came. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna extract some tons of flavor. So we're gonna start with your normal thing, French cuisine, a little mirepoix, carrots, celery, onions, that kind of thing. A little bit different, a little bit of red peppers, right? Yeah, a little red pepper, it's the color. Now this is where it gets a little awkward, trust me. A little touch of cinnamon stick. I want some aromatics in there, just to kind of like, I don't know, the pillars of flavor. You really don't want to know they're there. They're kind of underground. You can't really taste them. A star anise, and then a paprika. So, you know, little bit things like that. And what you want to do is you want to give it a little shake and get some color on the bottom.
Okay.
Right?
Use a spoon.
Use a spoon.
So you don't go to the restaurant and actually say, hey, how'd you make this, do you? Do you just go home and you...
No. And this is my interpretation. I don't know how they made it when I ate that thing, but it has to do with the wine and the company and everything else. And so, you know, I mean, like, you can never completely do it the same, but I think this is kind of the take on it.
Okay.
So what I did next is I boiled my lobsters and I roasted them in the oven, because that's when you get the real flavor.
Yeah.
So gentlemen, do you have any lobster shells in the oven?
Roasted?
Roast it off. Look at this.
There you go.
Look at that.
So this is the legs, the bodies, and just chuck it in there. But if you want to take a look, like you see this little charring in here?
Yeah.
That is where things get nutty. That's the flavor, the toastiness, the nuttiness, and nobody really does that step. And so you roast it off and you put it in there, right?
And you're putting the whole thing in there, huh?
Well, no, we took the meat out.
You're just putting the shell in there.
Just the shell in there, right?
Just the shell and the legs.
Just the shell and the legs. So then.
So you want wine?
A little white wine.
Notice that this is the same, right? Filtered and unfiltered.
Yeah, we'll get there. We'll get there. So a little white wine, you know, little acidity. Here we go.
Okay, much more.
Throw it in. Throw it in. You know, there we go. That's beautiful. And we're trying to build flavors. So then once the wine comes down a little bit, then we go with our shrimp stock. Once again, you go to your fishmonger, he steams shrimp, in you go. If you don't have shrimp stock, you can't have it. Whenever you make fish at home, or say shrimp or anything like that, instead of throwing it in the garbage, the shells, put them in your freezer.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the reason for it is when I put it in the garbage, it stinks up the house and I get in trouble. So I put it in the freezer, and then all of a sudden when I need a shrimp stock, I pull it out and I boil it up, and abracadabra, you got shrimp stock, right?
Smart.
So now we've got like 3 liters of goodness here. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna sit back and we're probably gonna open a beer. And we're gonna watch this. And it's gonna take about an hour to come down. What we wanna do is we wanna bring that down to this.
Okay.
Right? So
That's
from
what
there
you get out of all of
to
that.
there.
Goody.
And here's what we do next. We're gonna actually start building the pasta. So extra virgin olive oil, a little bit of shallots. Hey, how you doing? Nice. A little bit of garlic. Gentlemen, can I steal that burner up top?
Yeah.
Let's do a little bit of Massimo smoke in there. Okay, take it easy, take it easy, take it easy. So we give that a little bit of caramelization.
Yes.
If we had any wine left, this would probably be a good time to hit it with the wine. Massimo.
Why you told me to put it all in? You know, I mean, come on.
You know, there's always another bottle in the cellar. There's always another bottle.
Squeeze it.
Right, get in there.
Okay, go on.
A little bit of lobster, and depending on how much you want to do, I don't have any knuckles left because...
Just to clarify, did you say a little bit of lobster?
A little bit of lobster.
Just a little bit. So that's like, what, half a portion?
It's half a portion. There's a couple tails in there. There's a couple claws in there. I don't actually have any knuckles left because whenever I clean lobster, don't ever order lobster in my restaurant because we won't have any knuckles. It's the best part. I eat them all. It's the best thing that ever happens, right? That's what we do.
The best.
So as this comes down, we're just going to now hit it with that stock, right? So that is the magic. And you can just see that. It's just like, give that a smell and you'll know what I'm seeing about the nuttiness, right?
I think these are the flavor builders that when people make the recipes at home, they don't understand why it doesn't have that depth. Like, this is what's going to make the difference, right?
It's reducing. It always comes down to the reduction, right? All you want to do is reduce, 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 reduce. Get these bubbles going, and away we go. We bring this down even further. And it is that simple. So basically what we're making here is a bisque, because a bisque is basically lobster stock and a touch of butter and cream.
Hearty.
Yeah.
That's it.
There it is. So bring that down.
There's something great about the cream when it just goes in there because it just kind of brings it all together, makes it cozy and lobster bisque.
There you go. Your pasta's
Beautiful.
ready.
Nice.
Give that toss, Massimo.
And now what do? You let it cook down until?
This is the other mistake that we make at home and restaurants do really well is they cook the pasta in the sauce. And so this does look a little liquefied. If we had a few more minutes, you're going to cook this down and then the sauce is going to get into the pasta. And that's truly when you go to a restaurant and eat pasta in a restaurant, that's what they did. And you're like, what did they do to make this taste so good?
Yes.
Is that what you do, Massimo?
Yeah, that's exactly what I do.
Yeah.
Right?
But I don't tell anybody.
Not supposed to.
Just let it out of the
Little
bag.
pepper, right? And then we're going to hit it with a little bit of lemon juice right there.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And then...
Elevate the acidity.
You want to plate it?
Let's plate it up.
Yeah, let's plate
Let's
it.
do it.
I know we can't cook it all the way through, but that's okay. We get the
a little
point.
further, right?
We got the
Combine
point.
That's good.
But I mean, a plate of pasta like that, how much would it cost with all that lobster in it?
Well, chef, it's New
How
Year's
much
Eve. You're
would
at my
it
house.
cost,
You're my guest.
Massimo?
Oh, you're a guest, that's right.
You're my guest, right? But all I'm going to say is you
Maybe
better
like
bring
70
over a
bucks.
nice bottle of champagne.
God.
That's what I'm saying. A
Absolutely.
nice bottle of champagne.
$75.
Right?
80. I'm only keep adding
Give that
keep
nice little wipe there, Jay.
Nice.
Let's do it, let's do it.
And then a little bit of chiveage. Here we go.
that's
So lobster
beautiful.
bisque, a little bit of spaghetti.
Yeah.
Take care, brush your hair.
Put it
baby.
up there. We'll get a shot of it.